Hi everyone, I'm very happy to be here today with you. It's my first time in Romania, in Cluj, and thank you so much for inviting me. This is the agenda. Today we will speak a little bit about Ethereum, but first things first, I would like to introduce my company and myself. My name is Chiara, I'm head of Italy and Ticino at 21 Shares. But who is 21 Shares? 21 Shares is a company specialized in digital assets. Its main offices are based in New York, London, and Zurich, where I work. 21 Shares was the first company to launch a crypto ETP in Europe. And now ETP, first of all, ETP stands for Exchange Traded Product. It is an easy financial instrument to get access to cryptocurrencies in an easy way. And now the company offers the largest platform of ETPs on crypto with more than 50 products. All our products are 100 physically backed. It means that we hold the same amount of crypto that the product represents. And this gives the investor safety and transparency. In addition, all our products are Delta One. It means that the product tracks the crypto directly without any tricks. No swap, no lending, no borrowing. Our mission is to create bridges between the traditional finance and the crypto world. For this reason, all our ETPs on crypto are listed on the major European stock exchanges. For example, Euronext Paris, Amsterdam, London Stock Exchange, Deutsche Börse, etc. And I hope to see soon these products also in Italy on Borsa Italiana. In this way, the investor can buy and sell ETPs on crypto in the same way he usually buy or sells stocks, bonds, or ETF in general. Since our launch in 2018, we have expanded to USA and Australia. And now in USA, we have 7 ETFs, including the popular Bitcoin and Ethereum spot ETF, while in Australia, we have 2 ETFs. In this chart, you can find some numbers related to our company. I would like to highlight the AUM, which is, I think, the most important number in this slide. We currently have between 8 and 10 billion of assets under management. I usually say this range, 8 to 10 billion, because it depends on the crypto price, which goes ups and downs depending on the market. Anyway, reaching the peak of 10 billion for us is something we are very proud of, because we have helped to build this industry from scratch some years ago. So, in a nutshell, 21 Shares help to make crypto investing easy, affordable, and accessible to anyone. But now, let's speak about Ethereum. Since the beginning of 2024, Ethereum had a hard time keeping up with the other blockchain, in particular Solana. Indeed, Ethereum last year didn't perform very well, in particular in comparison to its most important competitors, and the first one is Solana. Solana is cheaper, is faster, and therefore Solana attracts more users, more developers, and more activity and more money. If we have a look at the chart, we can see that Solana's price has grown up much more than Ethereum's. On the other hand, Ethereum is following a more complex long-term plan. Ethereum is moving toward a system with layer 2 solution to help scale. It makes sense technically, but it can create a split user experience. And so now people may use many different layers too, and the Ethereum main chain often feels empty. Anyway, at 21 shares, we are still positive on Ethereum for many reasons. First of all, Ethereum is the most decentralized network. It still has the best tools for developers, and it has a strong institutional trust. So we believe that in future Ethereum can start to grow again. But let's see in depth why we are so positive on Ethereum. First of all, improvements and updates. Ethereum has experienced and will experience some big improvements. During the last year, Ethereum had Duncan upgrade. Thanks to this Duncan update made layer 2 solution cheaper and faster. So many users moved to layer 2 solution. And as a result, fewer people use Ethereum as a main chain. Now, a big question rises. If most transactions happen off the main chain, how will Ethereum keep making money? In general, we think at 21 shares that we are facing a big shift because big companies are starting to build on Ethereum's layer 2 solution. We can see that from the chart. Kraken is building its own layer 2 solution, which is called Kraken Inc. Sony is focusing on digital identity and on gaming. And last but not least, Deutsche Bank is looking at Ethereum for tokenized finance. Anyway, in future, many layers 2 solutions may start to consider to share revenues with Ethereum in order to create a more balanced system. And in addition, Ethereum will experience other improvements and updates, for example, RISC-V, and this update will make Ethereum faster, cheaper, and this will help to bring people back to Ethereum main chain. So, for sure, 2024 was a bad year for Ethereum, but we think that this year, in 2025, Ethereum could start to grow again. This is another reason because we are bullish on Ethereum. Stablecoin. Stablecoin are a big part of crypto ecosystem, and Ethereum is their main home. In May 2025, the total supply of stablecoin has reached 140 billion, a new record. But this is important also because it means that people still trust Ethereum as a base layer for their financial activity on-chain. Ethereum doesn't just have the biggest amount of stablecoin, like USDT, USDC, but also the widest variety, like RAI or LUSD. And stablecoins are growing for many reasons, not only because they are used in real world, for example, for payment or foreign exchanges, but also because they are used in DeFi, as collateral, for borrowing, for lending, for staking. In this scenario, the regulation is getting more stable. In Europe, the MiCA is giving a legal structure to the euro-based stablecoin, while in USA, we have new laws like the Genius Act, which are getting closer to approval. So we think that stablecoins are likely to grow more and Ethereum will benefit from it. Third reason, Ethereum ETF. In 2024, Ethereum spot ETF was launched in USA, but it didn't get the same success and interest of Bitcoin spot ETF. And that's normal, because Ethereum is a more complex asset. Bitcoin is easy to understand. It's a store of value, it's digital gold, while Ethereum is a technological platform, a base layer for DeFi, tokenization, NFT. It takes longer for traditional investors to understand that. Bitcoin usually comes first and Ethereum follows. So also, if we have a look at the chart, we can see that ETF flows peaked in February, then they slowed down between March and April due to global uncertainty, and then they started to rise again. Therefore, in general, with better market sentiment and with more education, we think that ETF flows can grow again. And indeed, we recently saw 8 straight days of inflows. This is a sign of renewed interest. Last but not least, there are other catalysts. There are some big trends that we should look at. Real-world asset tokenization. More institutions are bringing real-world assets like government bond or real estate on-chain. And Ethereum is the right place for that because of its decentralization and its security. This activity will bring more liquidity, more fees, and more long-term capital. Secondly, there is the DeFi revenue sharing. Many big DeFi platforms like Avalanche or Uniswap are starting to share revenues with the token holder, and this will make DeFi more attractive. Ethereum will benefit from it because Ethereum is one of the most important DeFi platforms. Last but not least, we have technological improvement. Ethereum roadmaps includes upgrades like Pectra upgrade and RISC-V upgrade. These improvements will make Ethereum more efficient, cheaper, and more user-friendly. For example, it will be possible to pay fees through stablecoin. I don't want to be too much technical, also because I'm a sales, and now I will focus my speech also on another feature of Ethereum. With Ethereum, it's possible to stake assets, but let's see what staking is. Some blockchains are not based on the mining, but they are based on the proof of stake mechanism. Staking is how some blockchain like Ethereum keep things secure and running. Since some blockchains are based on the proof of stake, in this system, people lock their crypto to help validate transaction. And so this helps the network to run smoothly. In return, they can get staking rewards. So instead of holding crypto without doing anything, it's possible to earn an extra income. And therefore, staking is a smart choice for investors. At 21 Shares, part of our mission is to make staking simple, especially for people who don't want to deal with technicalities or technical stuff. But let's see how big the staking market is. The total crypto market is worth 3.55 trillion, and 615 billion comes from proof-of-stake assets. It means 17% of the market. And of those proof-of-stake assets, 292 billion are staked. This means that staking is no longer a small niche. It has become a core part of the crypto ecosystem, and it's used by both retail and professional investors to get staking rewards. As mentioned, at 21 Shares, part of our mission is to make staking simple. Let's see how, and let's see how the process works. First of all, an investor buys an ETP on crypto, for example, Ethereum staking ETP, on a regulated and transparent stock exchange through fiat money. 21 Shares buys the underlying, the crypto, and 21 Shares holds the underlying in cold storage. Then 21 Shares delegate the underlying, for example, that Ethereum, to institutional grade validators like Blockdaemon, Coinbase Cloud, or Figment. The validator earn staking rewards, and 21 Shares collect the staking rewards, and the staking rewards are reinvested into the ETPs. So the investor can see the performance of the ETP growth, enjoying fully transparency and daily liquidity. Thanks to our sites and our technology, the process is studied to be efficient, safe, and optimized to get big results. For sure, there are some risks with staking. The most important risks are two: slashing and liquidity. Slashing occurs when a validator behaves badly, for example, being offline or trying to cheat. In this case, a part of the stake assets are burnt or they are lost. At 21 Shares, we avoid or we face this risk in different ways. First of all, we select only top validator with excellent anti-slashing track records. And in addition, we have special insurance for each providers. I would like to highlight that so far, none of our products have ever been slashed. The second risk is liquidity. If you decide to stake assets directly on chain, your coin can get locked for a period. And this period is called lockup period. And it can be hard to get back your investments. At 21 Shares, we avoid this risk in different ways. First of all, we stake only a part of our assets, only a portion. We always keep a reserve for any withdrawal, for any redemption, and we use a specific staking approach. Our specific staking approach has been called by our market makers golden standard. It's an active staking approach in order to manage demand and flows. Only 1 minute. Okay, I'm almost finished. We are able to manage flows and demand. Because through an ETP, we have to provide daily liquidity. And this is very, very important because the investor, when the investor buys or sells ETPs on crypto, he has to be able to enter and exit the investment whenever he wants without any problems. I will skip this slide, and I would like to show you the range of our products. At the moment, we have 14 staking ETPs from Ethereum, Injective, Aptos, etc. But why to choose staking, 21 share staking ETPs? For their simplicity, because you don't have to handle with password, credential, private keys. For their security, all our assets are held in cold storage. We never move our assets out of our custody system. For high quality provider, we always select top validators, and for low fees and high yield. Thanks to our sites, we are able to negotiate low commission rate. I think I finished. I can see you will receive, I hope, if you are interested, I can give you the slides where you will find the differences between staking and lending. Staking is a crypto-native concept, while lending comes from the traditional finance. And you will find also some technical terms to understand better crypto, ETPs, and staking. And it's all. Thank you so much.
Brilliant. Now, thank you so much for that. If you could stay there for a few questions, if that's okay. We've got one right here. So, question from DAP Developer 30. What do you think about the leadership of the ETH Foundation? Do you think they're making the right decisions?
Oh, this is a very technical question, honestly. If you would like to have a serious and precise answer to this question, I really suggest to get in touch with me. I can give you my business cards, and we can have a discussion with us, with our research team, who is the best referral point for this kind of question.
Okay, fair enough. Are there any other questions from the crowd? From anyone for Chiara? I've got a question then.
Okay.
So it sounds like everybody's very bullish on ETH, especially 21 shares. What potential threats do you think there are out there for ETH over the next few years? Would you say potentially regulatory concerns?
What potential, sorry?
What potential threats are there on the roadmap ahead for ETH? What things could go wrong, I suppose?
With Ethereum?
With Ethereum, yeah.
Because in my opinion, Ethereum is facing the competition of, first of all, Solana, which is cheaper, faster, and Solana is attracting a different audience instead of Ethereum. Ethereum is more concentrated on big transactions, but these big transactions are very slow to process, while Solana is focused on small transaction, and it's more focused on gaming, social media, and there is a kind of fashion because a lot of application has been built on Solana, for example, meme coin like the Trump coin. So in this moment there is a kind of a pump on Solana. Ethereum is not going down, but it's more slow in growing and in improving its features.
Gotcha. Well, we've actually, in the meantime, we've had another question come up.
Do we have also this question?
These are actually one question 4 times for some reason. But let's see. Do you think that institutional grade staking solutions might eventually centralize validator power? How can the network prevent that?
Do you think institutional grade staking solution might eventually centralize? This is, I'm sorry, this is another very technical question, and I don't know. I really don't know. We have to ask to our research.
That's okay. Well, Gas Guzzler 87 is going to have to wait for that. Oh, is that another question we've got there?
I just wanted to ask, sorry, apologies for not, but what does your ETP21 shares look for when they are judging whether they want to accumulate a new token or whatever it is? What are the sort of aspects within that token that you look for that is green lights?
So do you want to know how we decide which crypto? Okay, this is an easy question for me, for my role. Yes, there are many process. Many departments are involved. First of all, research. In our company, our research team is very important because our goal, yes, for sure, is to sell, but also to spread education. Because without education, it's impossible to sell this kind of product. So first of all, the research team has to study the crypto, the underlying, and we select only crypto in which we believe when they have fundamentals and a serious project. For example, long time ago, there were many meme coins like Shiba Inu or Pepe. They were liquid, they could be listed, but we decided not to launch them because in our opinion they were not serious products. Then the project is analyzed by our product development team because since the ETPs are financial instruments on stock exchanges like Deutsche Börse, etc., they have to be liquid. So we have to pass through all the green light. We should have the green light of the stock exchanges. If they are not liquid, we are unable to launch them. For the reason I told before, for us it's very important that an investor can enter in the position whenever he wants. Also about staking, for this reason we don't stake all the assets, because if the market goes down and everyone wants to go out from the investment, we are unable to provide the liquidity. Do you know what I mean? So, two points for deciding which crypto to launch. The project has to be serious and the liquidity. And then there is our management who gives the final approval.
Thank you so much. I think that's all we've got time for in terms of questions, but thanks again to Chiara. Can we put our hands together one last time?
Thank you. It was a pleasure.